Let us begin. This discussion concerns Christopher Marlowe, a significant figure in English literature. He was also known as Kit Marlowe among his acquaintances. Marlowe was highly influential in his era and achieved great prominence in the theatre. This was a period that preceded the invention of television and existed before the development of the internet and even before the introduction of modern sanitation systems. Christopher Marlowe was born in the year 1564, which is the same year as another notable individual, William Shakespeare. This coincidence marks the beginning of a particularly fascinating historical narrative. Marlowe was a playwright, a poet, and an innovator in his field. His writing was dynamic and impactful, and his words were compelling and memorable. He was exceptionally talented, at times considered controversial, and his life ended prematurely. Prior to Marlowe's contributions, English drama was often lacking in sophistication. The language used in plays was not always fluid, and the protagonists were frequently underdeveloped. Marlowe was instrumental in transforming this situation. He mastered the use of language, particularly through his innovative application of blank verse. Blank verse is unrhymed poetry with a distinct rhythm, providing a strong sense of movement. It resembles natural speech, but is crafted with greater intellectual skill. Marlowe introduced a new level of creativity to the stage, surpassing the conventions of his time. He revitalized English theatre, making it more dynamic and engaging for audiences. Let us proceed to examine his life and work in greater detail. Let us turn back time. We return to Canterbury, England. Christopher Marlowe, known as Kit, was not born into a wealthy or noble family. Quite the opposite. His father worked as a shoemaker, a respected trade at the time. However, Christopher demonstrated exceptional intelligence from a young age. His academic abilities earned him a scholarship to a distinguished school. He later received another scholarship to attend Cambridge University. This achievement was remarkable. The son of a shoemaker was able to study among the most prominent scholars in the country. Marlowe was expected to become a clergyman and serve the church. Nevertheless, he aspired to pursue broader ambitions that extended beyond religious service. During his time at Cambridge, unusual circumstances arose. Marlowe began spending considerable amounts of money, far more than a typical student could afford. He was also absent from the university for extended periods. When it was time to receive his degree, the university nearly withheld it. University officials suspected that he had secretly converted to Catholicism. In Protestant England, this was a serious and dangerous accusation. At that moment, a letter arrived from the Queen's Privy Council. The letter explained that Marlowe had been engaged in activities beneficial to the country. This served as an official endorsement from the highest authority. This is when speculation began. Was he a spy? Some have questioned whether Christopher Marlowe also served as a secret agent for Queen Elizabeth I. Leading such a double life would have been extremely dangerous. At one moment, he might be writing poetry. Every significant narrative concludes with a notable ending. However, Christopher Marlowe's conclusion is exceptionally dramatic. On May 30th, 1593, at the age of only 29, Christopher Marlowe passed away. According to the official account, he spent his final day in a boarding house in Deptford, located just outside London. He was accompanied by 3 other men. Reports indicate that they were consuming alcohol and became involved in a dispute regarding payment. A physical altercation ensued. It is stated that Marlowe seized a dagger belonging to one of the men, Ingram Fraser. During the struggle, Marlowe was fatally stabbed above his right eye and died immediately. The incident was described as a tragic and senseless conflict. The case was considered resolved. However, questions remain. This official explanation has often appeared overly simplistic for an individual as complex as Marlowe. Let us examine the circumstances. In the weeks preceding his death, Marlowe faced significant difficulties. He was accused of heresy and of promoting atheistic beliefs. In Elizabethan England, such accusations were considered even more serious than charges of murder. His roommate had been arrested and subjected to torture, and Marlowe himself was scheduled to be questioned by the Privy Council. He was in a precarious position. Furthermore, the other men present at the scene were not merely casual acquaintances. Ingram Fraser, Nicholas Skeres, and Robert Poley were recognized as con artists and government informants. Was this a politically motivated assassination? Did Marlowe possess sensitive information? Alternatively, was the entire event orchestrated? Is it possible that his death was staged? While this hypothesis is intriguing, one must consider whether it is plausible. To gain a true understanding of Christopher Marlowe, it is essential to examine his dramatic works. These plays form the core of his enduring legacy. Marlowe's first major success was Tamburlaine the Great. The play centers on a shepherd who, through ambition and determination, rises to become an emperor who conquers much of the known world. Tamburlaine is depicted as a complex character, ambitious, ruthless, and convinced of his own superiority even over the gods. The central theme is the danger of unchecked ambition and the consequences of seeking absolute power. The play was highly influential, as audiences had never before encountered such a bold and defiant character on the English stage. Another significant work is The Jew of Malta, which tells the story of Barabbas, a wealthy Jewish merchant living on Malta. When the authorities unjustly confiscate his property, Barabbas pursues a path of calculated revenge, employing deception, poison, and betrayal. The play is a dark comedy that explores themes of hypocrisy, prejudice, and the destructive nature of vengeance. Marlowe's most renowned play is Dr. Faustus. This work is especially notable. The narrative follows Dr. Faustus, a brilliant scholar who becomes dissatisfied with the limits of human knowledge and seeks greater understanding. Desiring ultimate power and knowledge, Faustus makes a pact with the devil. He exchanges his soul for 24 years of magical abilities, with the demon Mephistopheles serving as his companion. The play examines the conflict between the pursuit of knowledge and the quest for salvation, as well as the costs of ambition. Ultimately, Faustus must face the consequences of his choices. The final scene, in which Faustus pleads for more time as he is taken to hell by demons, is regarded as one of the most powerful moments in English drama. Marlowe's play Edward II is also highly significant and differs from his other works. It tells the story of an English king who neglects his royal responsibilities due to his affection for a courtier. The play's sensitive and progressive portrayal was far ahead of its time. The question arises, why is Christopher Marlowe significant today? Primarily, Marlowe fundamentally transformed English literature. He elevated the English language, demonstrating its capacity for expressive power and emotional depth. Marlowe's innovative use of blank verse set a new standard for playwrights who followed him. He pioneered new literary paths, which William Shakespeare and others later expanded upon. There is also a notable theory. Some suggest that Marlowe continued to write plays after his reported death, sending them back to England. According to this theory, he required someone to present these works as their own. William Shakespeare is often proposed as this figure. Consider the timing. Marlowe's death in 1593 coincides with the beginning of Shakespeare's career. The parallels between their works are remarkable. It is worth contemplating whether the plays attributed to Shakespeare might actually be the later works of Christopher Marlowe. This possibility continues to intrigue scholars and readers alike. Regardless of whether Marlowe died in 1593 or lived on under another identity, his influence on literature is profound and enduring. Marlowe's legacy continues to inspire performances worldwide. He remains a pivotal figure in English literature, and his story is one of lasting importance.